The murder case that gripped our community, it is now up to a panel of judges to determine whether Charlie Tan, the young man from Pittsburgh, who was accused of killing his father, should be tried again for murder. Chief investigative reporter Berkeley Breen was at the hearing today. Burke.
Jen, let's set the table for you. Charlie Tan was charged with killing his dad. He got a hung jury, then a mistrial. And then a month later, the judge dismissed the case entirely. So today, the district attorney's office was in court asking judges to overturn that decision.
People versus Tan.
We were allowed to record the hearing from the court's cameras. The district attorney's second in command, Kelly Wolford, told the judges the dismissal of the case was a mistake and they can make it right.
I understand our right to appeal is very limited, but the importance of what occurred here and how it occurred lends itself to a situation where this court should find a way to get to the heart of this issue.
And that's what I asked Kelly Wolford about outside court.
Kelly, can you put into layman's terms for us and our viewers what it is you want these judges to do?
We want the judges to get to the heart of what this is, which is the people presented significant proof that Charles Tan was guilty of killing his father.
Therefore, overturn the dismissal and try him again.
Brian DeCarlos on behalf of the respondent, Mr. Tan.
Charlie Tan's defense lawyer reminded the court that Charlie Tan's case was thrown out before a verdict, and in New York, that is unappealable.
The statutory language of the New York State criminal procedure law precludes them to appeal this.
Brian, why don't you explain why you don't think there should be another trial?
Sure. Very simple. Despite the people's efforts to couch this any differently, this is a trial order of dismissal before the rendition of a verdict.
I'm talking about everyday language. Why should there not be another trial?
There shouldn't be another trial because it's not allowed under the law.
Simple as that.
As simple as that.
So I was told today the earliest decision date is 3 weeks from Friday. That's March 24th. Now, in the next hour, I'm going to put together a story with a lawyer who has argued in front of those judges 100 times. I had him watch the hearing. I watched it with him. What does he think these judges are going to do? And I asked Brian DeCarlos how Charlie Tan is doing now. His answer, new at 6. Berkeley Breen, News 10 NBC.
Thank you. Should Charlie Tan be tried again for murder? Tan was accused of killing his father inside their Pittsburgh home 2 years ago. The judge shocked everyone when he threw the case out after a mistrial. Today, the district attorney's office tried to convince a panel of judges to give them another shot. Chief investigative reporter Berkeley Breen has analysis of that hearing that you are only going to see here on News 10 NBC. Burke.
Jen, at 5, we laid out the arguments for the DA's office and Charlie Tan's lawyer. Now we got one of our legal experts to watch the hearing, to explain the case, and let us know what he thinks the judges are going to do.
Kelly Wolford on behalf of the people.
I watched the hearing with attorney Peter Pullano. He has argued in front of this court 100 times. First, the DA's case.
The people are here today asking this court to reverse a decision of Judge Pampiano.
Charlie Tan's lawyer says you can't do it.
The statutory language of the New York State criminal procedure law precludes them to appeal this.
Did the defendant waive his double jeopardy rights, and if he did, does it make a difference?
Absolutely not.
What did you take away from it?
First off, we've got what they call a very hot bench here. These judges were extremely up on the law and the facts of this case.
And we saw that with the judges' questions.
This court should find a way to get to the heart of this issue.
The difficulty with that argument, I think, counsel, is that, as you know, we read these statutes, they're strictly construed.
Absolutely.
And so that means that we don't have a lot of wiggle room.
The state law says if a judge dismisses a case before a verdict, it's final. If you had to bet on this, do you think the court is going to agree with the people or with Charlie Tan and his lawyers?
My own opinion, and I'm not wearing a robe, would be that given the way the statute is written, and this case was decided, I think that ultimately it will not be an appealable decision, and therefore Judge Pampiano's decision would stand.
I asked Brian DeCarlos how Charlie Tan is doing. He would only say that he's fine. He's in Atlanta, and he says they talk all the time. I was told today the earliest we'll see a decision on this case is 3 weeks from Friday, which is March 24th, and we will share that with you as soon as we get it. Berkeley Breen, News 10 NBC.
Thanks,